this is Josh with DCC TV, and I'm here with Cynthia Richards, the author of the newest book, The Obsidian Gates. And we're here to talk all about that. So tell me, what's it all about?
Well, I tell you this, The Obsidian Gates is book 2 in the Heart of the Warrior series, and Heart of the Warrior is about a kind of a dystopian future for Earth. There's a heavenly cataclysmic event that happens and the Earth tilts on its side, so everything's changed, and the only thing that's left are the residual emotions and energies of the people that were here before us, or actually us even, and they break up into good and evil, and those two entities divide what's left of the planet, and the last undivided territory is Endara, and that's where my story takes place. So evil is trying to take over this little continent, and the hero is trying to find a talisman that will guard against evil and take back the power of good.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. When did you decide that writing was going to be your thing?
Oh, I've been writing since I was a kid. I won my 3rd grade short story competition, and ever since then, I really puttered around with writing, but it wasn't really until 2004 when I started getting involved in our local fiction community, Rocky Mountain Fiction Writers, that I really decided this is for me. I want to make this a career, and I actually want to produce books.
And what was that last driving factor that tilted you over and turned the computer on and said, "Here we go, I'm typing"?
Well, I had for a long time stopped writing as an adult and got into computer science and project management, and there was just felt like something was missing. So I thought, as a stress reducer, I'd just pick up a pen and start writing again, and I'd forgotten how much it was a part of me and how much I loved it. So ever since then I was hooked, and I've been going forward ever since.
When you decided to start writing, did it just flow, or was it something where you had to kind of sit for a second and decide? And a second could be a month, but sit for a moment and decide what am I doing, or was it there and it went?
It just was there. It just rolled onto the page. Don't get me wrong, it's not easy, but once I got going, my inner creative muse won't shut up. She's really vocal, so it's not hard for me to get the ideas on the page. The hardest part is really finessing it and editing it to get it ready for prime time.
Sure. What is your creative your warm-up? What gets you ready to start your actual project?
Oh, that's a great question. Every book I have has its own theme music. I know that sounds weird, but I have a playlist that I play as I get ready to be these characters in my head, and that's when music really helps you get in the mood and get focused and go forward with writing. So that's a big part of it.
When you were done with that first story that you were submitting either to be published, regardless of where it was being published, how high were the nerves, or were you pretty confident in saying that this is a good story?
I was so sick when I hit that send button, because that's part of your heart and soul. That's where the story comes from, and there's that huge fear of rejection. And when you get that rejection coming back, it takes everything you have to keep going, and the nerves never go away. Even when you are published and you first release the book, it's like, will people read this? Will they buy it? Will they like it? What if everybody hates it? So after a while you get used to it, but boy, when you first start out, the nerves, they're just horrible.
Advice out there for the people that are starting out and getting those first rejection letters. What would you say to them, if they are on the brink of maybe giving up?
I would say put your story on the back burner. Take time to start writing something else. When you feel refreshed and your mind is clear, come back to the story and look at for anything that might be similar comments that back on the rejection. You know, we're not perfect. Everything we write isn't gold, unfortunately. And sometimes people give you responses that are meant to be helpful. But if you analyze that and if you take a time to think of it and you still don't see anything wrong with it, try sending it out again, because you may not have hit the right time or the right folks. Try again and try a new tactic as you go and pitch it other places.
When you decided to write a multi-book story, did you have the overarch already planned with the number of books planned out, or did you just have the overarching story and you're just going to see what happens?
Well, this Heart of the Warrior series I started writing in 2004, and I've written it all the way in draft form to the end. And I thought I knew how many books there were going to be. No, I thought, oh, I'll kick it out in 4. Now it's up to 6, and so I would like to say that I have it all planned out, but I know how it ends, but not how many books it's going to take to get there.
And do you find it important to keep that overarching story driving forward? Or is it something that you can kind of let go to the side for a little while and focus on other things?
Well, for me, it's important. I'm an outliner, so in order to build up the overarching story, I have to add details in maybe book 2, book 3 that won't really come to fruition until book 5. So for me in this series, it's really important to keep that overarching story in mind.
And as far as just pop culture goes, outside of your own projects, what is a project you would love to work on or be a part of?
Oh boy. And I would sure like to be involved in writing the next Marvel Avengers or something, or a Doctor Strange, as a guest author. I don't think they're going to ask me, but that would be a fantasy of mine, to help write a movie. That would be a lot of fun.
That's really awesome. Where can people find you on the internets and here at Denver Comic Con?
Sure. You can find me online at crrichards.com, and that has a link to all my social media accounts. And then if you're coming today, I'm going to be at Author's Alley for the next little bit, and then Saturday I'm going to be doing Author's Alley, both 4 and panels, and Sunday I'm doing panels all day, so stop by and listen to one of my panels. I got a lot of great participants in those.
Do you really enjoy the panel part of Comic-Cons?
I really do. I think it's one of my favorite things because it gives me a chance it's teaching and getting other people's opinion and coming to consensus or not, but being able to answer questions and help people maybe who are new writers. I absolutely love that. It's one of my favorite things.
Well, make sure you stop by those panels on Sunday. Hell, this might even be out by on Sunday. So look for it on the website. You'll see us there. We'll be there. And it's really great talking to you, Cynthia. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And we're out of here.